Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, my name is Robert, and today I'm starting a new 4-part series of how to make a charcuterie board with a resin river down the middle. Now, I love black walnut, so I'm going to use black walnut for this video. Now, in this first video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the wood itself, what I look for, and how I prep it and get it ready for pouring. In the second video, I am going to then take the actual board, make a form for it, and pour the resin. We'll mix it, do everything. And in the third video, we're going to take it out of its form, because by then the actual resin will be cured. I will flatten it, sand it, prep it all, get it ready for the final video, which is the fourth one, where we will polish it completely and put the finisher on it, and you'll get to see the end product. Now, the reason why I'm breaking this up into a 4-part series is because all the videos are always like 5 to 7 minutes long. How I take a piece of wood, boom, cut it, you see me at 20 times the speed. I don't think you're really learning much. You're just watching me make a board. So in this video, I really hope that you can get a lot of information out of it so that you yourself can actually try doing this. And I am going to do my best to use the tools that hopefully everyone has if you're somewhat woodworking. Now, there will be a few tools that you may not have. For example, a moisture meter. So what I have here is I have a moisture meter. What I do with all the wood I buy is before I actually buy it, I want to know how much moisture is in the wood. And this wood right here has 12.2%. The wood behind it is actually a little higher at 15, and the one at the back is 11.2. So 15 is a little high, but I'm going to show you just what I'm looking for in wood. Now, as for this first piece of wood, it's very wide. It's 15 plus inches. So when I build a river, I like to do like 4 inches on each side and 4 inches of resin in the middle. And so that gives me a nice 12-inch board. But if I'm going to do it 15, I could cut a piece out in the middle and make it smaller or make it appear smaller, but I'm not ruining this beautiful piece of wood for that. To tell you the truth, I bought 2 exactly like this, and why I bought this is because I want to make an actual office table out of this resin wood and some black resin. This isn't the right piece, although it's gorgeous. Now this one here, as I mentioned, is 15% water in it, so a little more than I like. I like the max about 13, but it's not bad. But the reason why I picked this board when I first bought it is just the pattern in it, and I hope to get you so you can see it. Oh, the lights are not great right there. I hope you can see that. The pattern itself, the reds, the coppers, the browns, and all the actual patterning itself, just as gorgeous in this one. And once you actually put the final finish on this, it's gonna pop and it's gonna look gorgeous. But I gotta tell you the truth, I'm saving this one for myself, so I'm not using this one because this one is actually for a client. I got a whole bunch of orders in just recently. So this one is for the one of the client that I'm doing. Now this one right here is 11%, so it's perfect. It's 1.25 inches thick. It is a little thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a little extra resin in the middle to ensure that I get to that 10 and a half, 11 inches wide. I'll make it a little longer so that they have plenty of room. But this is the actual wood we're going to use today. And what I'm going to do in this video is clean up all the bark. As you can see, I'm going to sand it down so you get in between the actual wood and the bark, there's a layer called cabium or something like that. I'm not good with what it's actually called. But the cabium, we're going to sand that down and we're going to prep it ready to go. So that right away in the next video, you're going to see us building a form and pouring the resin. So stick around because this build starts right now. All right, so here we are, and as you can see, I got my piece of wood, and like I said, this is a little thin, so I'm going to make it a little longer. This one I plan to make, I'm going to cut it at 17 inches, which is right here, so that this way I can use definitely about 16 inches of it, no problem. So maybe I'll do 18 and I'll do 17 inch. Okay, I'm going to do 18 because I'm so decisive here. Okay, 18 inches there. 18 inches here, right? That's good. And I'm just going to take some kind of a straight edge, straight enough, just so I stay on track from one side to the other. And there we go. All right, now to cut this, I'm just going to simply take my jigsaw here and cut it out. There we go. We now have our board. This can go back in the pile right here for the next one, because like I said, I do have a lot of orders. All right, so we're done for now with this. I'm going to just put it off to the side. Now our next step is to remove all of this bark. Yeah, so how do I remove my bark? Well, these guys have some fancy tools. I take a nice cheap X-Acto knife. And then I'll just put it there and cut it off. Now, there might be some pieces that don't come off, and when they don't, that's when I'll go to that more heavier equipment, but I'll start with this. So one thing to know is you really shouldn't be pulling the knife towards you. I've been doing it for so long, I'm used to it. It's not a good thing. I could get hurt. That blade could slip and end up sticking me in my stomach, but stuck in my ways. So the bark is all off. I'm going to start with the next part, which is sanding the sides so I'm down to hard wood. And of course, to sand down those sides, I'm simply going to use a sander if I can find it. So, I already have a 60 on here. However, that sandpaper looks completely done. Everyone, don't forget your PPE. It is important. I want you around for a long time. Alright, as for sanding here, there's no secret. Just get that bark off, get everything off so that you're down to solid wood, and you don't have to worry really much about this because you're going to be pouring resin and this is going to be completely covered, so it's not like anyone's going to see anything. And there you have it. So, bark removed, cabrium, whatever is off, right down to hardwood. All right, so it's perfect. Now what we're going to do is going to measure the distance here to here, put a mark, draw a line, and with the actual jigsaw, I'm going to actually cut out this so I have two pieces, right? And then we're going to flip the outsides, become the inside, and then the river will be in the middle. So let's get that done. Actually, I'm going to cut it this way. No, I'm going to cut it this way. Okay, this and this. Middle of this is 3.5, right about here. Right about out here is about. All right, so I've got my two marks, which are the middle. I'm going to join it with a line so I can follow exactly with the jigsaw. All right. Again, I need something straight. Again, my trusty piece of scrap wood, because even if it's a little off, I don't really care, because we're going to fix it all anyways when we pour. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, and here we go. So there we have it, our two pieces of wood. And like I said, they were like this, excuse me, there, right? Now we are going to actually invert them so that here's the river and here's my straight edge lines right out here, right? So there you go. And now I can adjust the width to make it exactly as wide as I want. Know this though, the resin is usually the most expensive part. So I know some people do these really tight ones like this, so they use very little resin. I don't. I like to make them bigger. I like to make sure, you know, it's a piece, it's going to really pop, the colors are going to pop. And that's what we're going to do is I'm going to pour probably a nice blue color and then go from there, maybe some white ghost in it. It'll look beautiful. All right, so stick around. Our pieces are ready, good to go. And in the next video, we are going to then make the form, and then we're going to pour the resin. That's all in the next video. So I hope to see you in the next video.